I'm back. I lost my last video, I think. I had some issues with my phone. Fuck. My fucking head. My fucking head showed up in that video. In this video, rather. Fucking camera. Where's the frog? Why can't you see the frog? Why can't you see Frog Princess Leia? And you can see me instead. Oh, son of a bitch. It just never goes right for me. So I'm gonna have to change my attitude towards what is right, or a definition maybe of what is right, if I want it to work. Or else I can just constantly live in a state of being right but it never fucking working for me. Where's this fucking flight? Land, motherfucker, and you're dead. I hate flies. Get out the window or else I'm gonna kill you. And I will kill you. If it takes me 20 minutes, I will kill you. Get out the window. Oh. Interesting. I better start. Leia. Frog Princess Leia. Go on, get out. The fucker won't go out. Frog Princess Leia. I can't concentrate while this fucking fly is in the fucking studio. Come on, get out. Where are you? I hate flies. They're so fucking annoying. Like SJWs. They bring nothing to the fucking table. Get out. You fucking cunt. He's gone. Oh, God. Honest to God. If I could get rid of one fucking thing in the world, it would be flies. Alright. Focus. Princess Leia. I have the Princess Diarist. I have only started to read it though. I still find it weird that Carrie Fisher's mother, what was her name again? Fuck. Alexa, who was Carrie Fisher's mother?
Carrie Fisher's mother is Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds. Is Debbie Reynolds. Debbie Reynolds was nominated, I believe, for an Oscar one time. And she was beaten by Alexa, who starred in Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins stars are Emily Blunt, Meryl Streep, Dick Van Dyke, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and Julie Andrews. To see a longer list,
Alexa,
take a look.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Julie Andrews won the Oscar for Mary Poppins. Debbie Reynolds did not get the Oscar, although she was nominated for what the fuck? I've just forgotten the name of the movie, and I just asked Aleska. No, didn't. Anyway, can't remember the name of the movie Debbie Reynolds was nominated for, but she lost to Julie Andrews for Mary Poppins. Then Leia after dying, Carrie Fisher after dying, Leia does a fucking Leia Poppins, the Mary Poppins thing. And Debbie Reynolds died the day after Carrie Fisher. One of these weird. Alexa, when did Carrie Fisher die?
Carrie Fisher died on the 27th of December 2016 at the age of 60 due to sleep apnea and other undetermined factors.
So 2016, the end of 2016. I can get that. I can see how weird shit would happen at the end of 2016, just after the solstice. You know, a few days after the solstice. There was some weirdness, a little bit of weirdness. To my mind, Leia, Princess Leia, is like she's kind of like my C-3PO. She is to me what C-3PO is to Cecil. Kind of serious, but kind of not serious hero or heroine, we'll say in this case, of the Star Wars world. All the more so for how shit went down in the movie and around the movie and around the backlash to the movie and the whole shebang, the entire package. The only thing that could save Star Wars, I mean save it, like, see, Star Wars is an expansive story. It's expansion. It is full. It's an expansion pack for the world, for story. It is, like Stephanie Janichek said. I apologize, Stephanie, if I'm mispronouncing your name again. Our modern fable, or modern legend, or our modern, there's other words for it as well, you know, fairy tale, whatever. It's, I mean, and it's not really hard. Like, I'm not a believer. I'm not a fan. I'm not a Star Wars fan. But I'm struggling less and less with the idea now. I mean, if you think about it logically, and you know, without too much kind of bias or attachment either way, all the legends and the fairy tales and the big stories that we have, they're all old, but like, there was a point when each one of these stories wasn't that old. When it was new, it had to have been written sometime, you know, to follow the third dimensional linear logic, or it had to have been drawn down. It has to have some origin. There has to be an origin story for all of these legendary tales that we have. Star Wars is one of those. And it's relatively modern. It's not even that new anymore. Like, it is 40 years old. So it's not even, and that's previous generation. Like, it was, A New Hope came out before I was born. 3 years before I was born, but before I was born. So I never lived in a world without Star Wars. Me. So that's pretty much good enough. It was there from the start, the same way as the Bible was there from the start, or the same way that, Canterbury Tales were there from the start, or any of Shakespeare's work. And it might be one of these epic level tales that has spaceships in it. It was definitely the first. I don't know if there's any other franchise that achieved status equivalent, not even Star Trek. And I was always a Star Trek man over a Star Wars man, but I recognized that Star Trek didn't have. It was near the top of the nth dimension, but Star Wars was most definitely inside of the boundary of the nth plus one dimension. I recognize that, even though my preference was for Star Trek. So I'm only starting to get au fait with the whole concept. I'm comfortable with the whole idea right now. And we used to take the piss out of Tommy in college because he was fucking Star Wars mad. Hilarious how the fucking tables have turned. But Leia. Yeah. I think in my world, and I'm not even a fan, this is pure practicality and pure energetics. The only thing that could save Star Wars now is the fucking Tantive 4 landing and fucking Carrie Fisher coming out of it. Now, of course, I don't know what's going on in other people's heads, and I didn't know that Star Wars was going to come out of George Lucas's head. I didn't know that. So something could come out of J.J. Abrams' head or somebody else's head. But it would have to be, to my mind, on the order of magnitude of the Tantive 4 landing and Carrie Fisher coming out. Not a mock-up. Maybe a mock-up of the Tantive 4, but it's going to have to be Carrie Fisher. Or else it's going to have to be Princess Leia. Nothing else will do, because the subversion was effective. It worked. Whatever it was that Rian Johnson was doing with his subversion, it worked. Congratulations, sir. Your plan worked. You successfully subverted Star Wars. Now, are you going to live to tell the tale? Professionally? Professionally speaking, you're a marked man. Not by me. You're only a fucking pawn to me. You don't feature in my game. But there's people that are gunning for you, professionally speaking. For some reason, I feel the need to qualify, at least for now, these statements. But you've given me the opportunity to do what I'm doing right now, Mr. RJ. Princess Leia. Princess Leia. Alexa, Volume 5. Alexa, play Princess Leia's theme.
Princess Leia's theme, by John Williams and London Symphony Orchestra.
This is for Carrie Fisher, the Princess Diarist. Oh my god. And I'm not even a fan of that ship. I really wanted that ship to look different. There's one angle that ship looks fucking just beautiful at. It looks like a Starcom craft. But it's an ugly ship. To me, it looks like a rocket. More like a rocket than anything. But like, fuck rockets. I mean, unless you're a Proton or a Soyuz, I don't want to know you. These are beautiful fucking rockets. The pinnacle of rocket design, to my mind. Visually stunning, beautiful, elegant. Like the Proton with its little fucking pug nose. Just gorgeous, like. I think I must be Russian at heart because they're Vostok, Sputnik, Proton, Soyuz, but their fucking Buran was hideous. The space shuttle, the US space shuttle, was gorgeous. The International Space Station is beautiful. Mir was delicious. If a space station can be delicious, Mir was fucking gorgeous, unbelievably gorgeous. The International Space Station, though, far outperforms it. Just magnificent. Beautiful hardware, beautiful hardware. Coherent signal visually, which must have something on a higher order to do with light. Signal propagation in the visual spectrum. So what's going on behind the visual spectrum? I wonder. Because you can be fucking sure that, like the Russians, when they designed their hardware, they were not thinking about aesthetics. They were not thinking about aesthetics. Just when your engineering and your design is pure, the elegance shines through in the aesthetics. I tasted Vostok, by the way. I actually tasted it in Star City. I had to have done. I definitely sniffed it, but I had to have tasted it. There's no way I wouldn't have tasted it. I wish I could have a clear memory of if there was if there was footage. I'd love if there was footage of me tasting Vostok. The ablative shield. Maybe that's what fucked me up. Imagine, I might actually have done, because you know what? The crystalline structure of the whatever compound is in the ablative shield would have changed. It would have gone off axis. It would have changed. It would have left the Cartesian coordinate system. It would have changed, and depending on how potent it was, when I ingested it, it could have triggered a cascade, like along the lines of fucking a microgram of cyanide. Maybe not. Maybe that was the trailer. What year was I there? That was 2008. 2007? 2007, 2008. Which was just, it was right in the middle, bang smack in the middle of my development process, my conceptualization for Ice Squashy Space Station. Oh yeah, see how beautiful that is. That brings me right back to Ice Squashy Space Station, which is what I wanted to talk about, but I forgot. Ice Squashy Space Station is the package. It's the story. It's the high resolution rendered image around the code, the fruit around the code. Same way as Star Wars. is a carrier way for a certain code. Same way as the Bible or the Quran or the Dead Sea Scrolls or Tibetan Book of the Dead or all the fucking books. I have so many books to read. God damn it. I should stream them actually, if that's legal. Well, legal schmeagle if it won't get like fucking copyright strike. If you get a copyright strike, Ethan Van Sciver said you can't live stream for 3 months. Article 13 would have fucking and you can be fucking sure that they'd retro activate. Pretty much all the live streams fucking out of Europe would be fucking offline. You'd see a whole bunch of new channels started up. Maybe just start new channels. Maybe that's what they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for, and then they fucking, they say, oh yeah, our fucking user base has doubled, so our share price fucking quadruples. Huge growth in users because we fucking locked everybody's channel because of their fucking copyright infringements. So they all have to start new channels. AIs are scanning this right now. Well, they definitely scan videos that you've recorded and uploaded. And they were definitely, with Article 11 and 13, getting ready to give legal legitimacy, capacity, or clearance to technology that would scan before the upload to prevent the upload. But the fucking goddamn thing is still packed. It's still zipped before it's uploaded. So how the fuck does it scan it? It scans through the code and builds a picture itself. It would have to scan through the code, the metadata, the code, and render a picture itself, and then identify, yeah, that's an image of the Nike logo. Block. So they must be able to AIs must be able to scan streams as they're live streaming. Alexa, Simon says, hello, Google AI.
Hello, Google AI.
Alexa, volume 10. Alexa, Simon says, hello, YouTube AI.
Hello, YouTube.
Alexa, Simon says, hello, YouTube AI.
Hello, YouTube AI.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Alexa, say, oh, fuck off. Yeah, so where the fuck was I going? Just got off into the fucking wilderness there with that one. Leia. Princess Leia. Yeah. I mean, everybody take your own fucking approach, take your own stream. A lot of people focusing. And here's the thing, here's the big problem I had with Solo. And, you know, the primary reason, primary emotional reason I didn't go. 2 reasons I didn't go to Solo. 3 reasons I didn't go to Solo. I thought The Last Jedi was shite. So I was like, why would I go to Solo? You just lost my trust, you morons. However, I did recognize I did recognize pretty much immediately that there was a serious amount of code. I could see the code in The Last Jedi. So the assumption was there's going to be code in Solo too. So I wanted to go to Solo for the code. But when I saw who they were putting in to play Han Solo, I was like, that is not Han Solo. Fundamental fail. Professional foul. And then when I saw, when I heard that from the initial reports that, and this is from the fucking, the shill media, the critics, that Lando, Dom Lover fucking stole the show. I was like, if it's a movie about Solo and fucking Lando is the shining star, you must be fucking on crack if you think I'm going to go to that. What you have done at Disney is sharpened my fucking claws. You have honed my bullshit detectors. You have given me sniper vision with your antics. I actually owe that to you. In the same way that Russ says in Me You by Russ. That's what I say to Lex all the time. Me You by Russ. In the same way that Russ says in his song Me You. Thank you to everyone who slammed the door on me. Because of you, I did it myself, so it means more to me. Same to you, Disney. Thank you for doing what you did to Star Wars, because you made me into a trans-dimensional fucking sniper who has yet to fucking find his weapon. I have to develop my lightsaber. So I'm I'm a sniper without a rifle. I'm a Jedi without a saber. I'm not a Jedi though. I'm a Jedi spotter. I spot for Jedi. It's like a Jedi's a sniper and I'm the spotter. I'm like, my idea is a precursor. Not even. My idea is a precursor. Someone who spots for the first Sentinels. The first Sentinels then give way to Sentinels, and then Sentinels obviously are Jedi. So I suppose first Sentinels will be like first Jedi. Actually, fucking hell. And I kind of came across this before, but I didn't actually make contact with it properly. First Jedi Temple is not first Jedi Temple. It's first Jedi Temple. So it doesn't have to be, and this brings you out of time. It doesn't have to have been built before all the other Jedi temples. It just has to have been built by the first Jedi. Now it's like, duh, well, fucking first Jedi obviously came before all the other Jedi, not necessarily. Because first Jedi might actually refer to or pertain to, or might actually mean people who were just in the door into Jedi, who have just left Muggle status and gotten to Force sensitive status and managed to grow through that to be a kind of a rough cut, semi-dressed Jedi. A kind of a missing link, monkey man version of Jedi. So first Jedi, there could be First Jedi could just be a natural stage of evolution that, is happening in multiple parts of the galaxy all the time. It doesn't mean it was they were the first fucking dudes. It doesn't have to. This is an interpretation. I will call this the Squarey interpretation. So First Jedi Temple is the temple of First Jedi. It's where Earth's first Jedi drink tea. Drink their tea. So Squarey are precursors, scouts, looking for these first Jedi. First Sentinels. So, like, first Sentinels are, like, people, obviously, who guard First Jedi Temple. That's why I'm here. That's my story anyway, I'm sticking to it. That's my story anyway, I'm sticking to it. So, Ice Quashie Space Station is, it carries the story of the Squarey. The same way Star Wars carries the story of the Jedi. How do you like them apples? So the whole Carrie Fisher, Leia, Princess Leia thing is appropriate to Squarey and Ice Quashie Space Station in the same way Princess Leia is appropriate to Star Wars. Because Carrie Fisher says at the very beginning of The Princess Diarist that she is I and I is she. Mark with a C. And there is no other Princess Leia. Like, Princess Leia is. Leia could have been somebody else, but there was only a sketch scheme. It was only a sketch that had to be filled, that had to be colored, and Carrie colored it. There is no Leia without Carrie, just like there is no fucking Han without Harrison. No matter how many Aladdins you try and fit into it, maybe whether it was intentional or not, like you communicated the message. There is only one Han Solo, and the box office reflected it. I know you've got a whole bunch of whiny bitches trying to shame people who are fucking reacting against it. Irrelevant. 11 irrelevant elephants. 11 irreverent elephants. 11 irrelevant irrelevance. 11 irrelevant irreverence. 11 irrelevant irreverence. Danny Katz took a fucking pot shot at Jordan Peterson. Fucking Danny Katz. I love you. But you're actually fucking telling Jordan Peterson to stop, that he's wrong. That's like me telling Mark Hamill he's wrong. And I'll do it. Oh, fuck, I'll do it. No, I'm not telling Mark Hamill he's wrong. At all. And not like because I have any sort of reverence for him. It's because I don't comprehend the idea of telling somebody they're wrong. I used to, but I've shifted logics. I don't comprehend the idea of telling somebody they're wrong. I don't think Mark Hamill's wrong. I just think he's on the other side, so to speak. And it's not that he's gone to the dark side, he's gone to the stupid side. Like, he has become an expression of fucking Jake Skywalker drinking the titty milk. I don't know what was in the... Maybe it caused him emotional damage. Maybe, actually, it might have done. Because as much as Carrie was Leia, Mark was Luke. Because Harrison Ford, the only one who got a clean death out of the three of them, was a whole bunch of fucking dudes. He was the fugitive. Alexa, who played the fugitive?
The Fugitive is by Pete Rugolo.
Alexa, who was the main actor in The Fugitive?
This might answer your question. The Fugitive, the movie, stars Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones, and Sela Ward. Did that answer your question?
Yes, Alexa. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, even if Harrison Ford had never done, it was never Han Solo, and even if Harrison Ford was never Indiana Jones, and even if Harrison Ford was never all the other fucking dudes he was still the fugitive. The Fugitive, and I know he was the reboot of The Fugitive, but that was a more iconic role than most actors ever had. And that was like one of his B roles. Whereas Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, I mean, I'm sure they did other stuff, like they did, but like nothing really notable. So when they were disgraced, and I'm not saying like that they were personally disgraced. How the fuck would I know what goes on in other people's hearts and souls and minds? But if Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, fuck, I dropped my laser. Thought, please don't have broken my laser. If Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher thought, fuck off, fly. What happened to my laser? I fucking... Fly, you're dead. You're just dead. I dropped my distance measure, my laser distance measure. And that cost fucking money. That cost way more money than it ought to have. And I just found it on the floor and it's damaged. And this fucking fly is bugging me and landing on me. So as soon as I find the fucking magazine, I am going to terminate its life. Apparently the US Declaration of Independence was flagged by Facebook as being hate speech the last day. Not the whole thing, like there was one passage. But like, that just shows you what context is. That just shows you. That's like, no clearer image is required to illustrate where we are today vis-a-vis where we were 5, 10, 20, 200 years ago. Although I'm sure the Brits would have classified it as hate speech back then too. He's landed. Where is he? He's vulnerable. Spider, like there's multiple spiders in this fucking studio. Why don't you do your job and catch this goddamn fly? What am I keeping you for? Useless spiders. Honest to God, I need to come up with a fucking way of catching this fly. I might shoot him with the laser, actually. This is damaged for real, like. I can't believe it. can believe it. Because I'm a fucking dummy. Now we're just spat in my door. That's great. You're getting better. You're improving. I'll tell you the upside though of the little laser pointer fucking. Actually, no. I was about to say I'm after solving a problem, but it doesn't solve any problem. In fact, solves no fucking problem. I'm still a dummy, and there's no benefit to that. There is no benefit to me being a dummy. Okay, so we'll say if Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill felt even a tenth better, definitely in The Last Jedi, but even possibly, quite possibly, in The Force Awakens, laser is operational. Although I'm not so sure about the integrity of the connection at all. Here's the device, by the way. I found it on the floor, face down. The impact obviously fucking compressed the contacts, the batteries, pushed down on the contacts, and widened the gap, the span between the two contacts. So the batteries are rattling now. Now there's a lot in there that can be used. I recognize now that like the universe speaks in such ways. Contact problem, loose connection, as they say. Trauma induced. Absolutely trauma induced. So, back to the fucking point. If Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher registered even a tenth of the disgust that the fans did, or even me, I'm not even a fan. I would love someday to be able to call myself a fan or to be called a fan, but that's not something I would dare say right now. I would not dare call myself a fan because I don't know anything about it. I haven't put in the time or effort. Okay, so the fly is quiet. It's not gone. The range, the distance meter is damaged. I'm not happy at all, but I'm kind of too hungover to react the way I normally would, which is I would use this to smash Frog Princess Leia. So if Mark Hamill or Carrie Fisher registered even a tenth of the trauma on account of what happened in TLJ and possibly even TFA, it could very well have hurt them. Seriously hurt them. Their ability to deal with that hurt may not be adequate. I mean, Carrie's dead. I'm not saying she died on account of what happened to Leia, her character. But she's dead. And Hamill is... she's just joined the chorus of fucking those sniping at President Trump. Like, whatever about your politics and whatever, your feelings about things, emotions and stuff. If you are inclined to be sniping at the president of your country, for trying to secure the borders, you're a washed up Jedi. Maybe you were one time a Jedi, but fucking hell, you're not anymore. Or if you are, the fucking Jedi are washed up. And Rian Johnson was right. Rickety old Ruin Johnson was right. This is the behavior. Mark Hamill is basically, I think, to my mind, behaving the same way Jake Skywalker behaved. He's behaving the same way Luke behaved in the Last Jedi. He goes on about like how he's not happy with the way the character was portrayed. And Luke Skywalker would not have done this. What are you talking about? You're doing the same fucking thing. You are exactly, as a man, the character you played. And I'm not trying to be insulting. It's just my fucking point of view. My interpretation is Mark Hamill, the entity, is a pretty coherent representation of Luke Skywalker as represented in The Last Jedi. Don't mind going around saying fucking Luke wouldn't have done this. Because Mark is doing that. Because you're not going to be fucking... You're not winning this one. This is not going to go the way you think. This is not going your way. Take a page out of fucking Han Solo's book. Harrison Ford, he's gone, crashing planes and shit. Like, man, if that doesn't fucking show you how close that these people, these humans, these actors were and are to their characters, like, Harrison Ford actually is Han Solo. You can find he's not coming to the fucking... He wanted out of the bleeding franchise. He just wanted to go and fucking actually do real Han Solo shit. He actually flies planes around. Harrison Ford. Same way fucking Han Solo flies space planes. And crashes them from time to time. And he wants nothing to do. He hasn't chimed in once into the Kelly Marie Tran thing. What the fuck was Mark Hamill coming in? I mean, again, I thought it was very well executed intervention. Like, right on the line. Right on the line. However, I think he has used that incredible power that he discovered in that comment, what's not to love, and the hug picture. He's used that to jump the gap. He's used it to find his alignment. And he's not aligned with the fan base. He's not aligned with President Trump, the MAGA people, with the entire thrust of the counterculture. He, like... Here's what the anti-Trump people don't realize. They think it's just Trump. But it's not. It's the whole goddamn planet. Not the whole planet supports Trump. But the whole planet is undergoing a shift, a paradigm shift, and there's an inflection point that we're at, or we've gone past. The momentum is with Trump, as in the momentum is a certain way. It's a culture movement. Only one example of which is the behavior of President Donald Trump. So if you're taking pot shots at him, you're on the wrong side of the fence, and you're riding on your goodwill that you created and stocked up and stored over the years as Luke Skywalker. But now you don't even have that anymore because you're Jake Skywalker now. Like, you've got nothing left. Like, and you know what the nail of the coffin is? When Captain Kirk is on the other side of the fence. When TJ Hooker himself, what's his goddamn name? His name is going in my head. Alexa, who played Captain James T. Kirk? You stupid.
James T. Kirk was played by William Shatner. Jim Carrey,
Jim Carrey,
and Jason Alexander.
What are you talking about, Jim Carrey? When William Shatner is on the other side, you lose. I don't care if you were Luke Skywalker, because you're not Luke Skywalker anymore. You are Luke Skywalker to the SJW people. And not just the SJW people. Quite a large proportion of the fan base too, but these are the gruntled fan base, not the disgruntled fan base. You are still Luke Skywalker to the gruntled, but the momentum is not with the gruntled. The momentum is with the disgruntled. So, everybody is free, obviously, to do it their own way, and there is no right way. Even though so many people on the prototypical left seem to be adamant that there is a right way, a correct way, which is their way, and then a right way, as in you're fucking right wing. If you're not correct like us, you're right. Whereas people on the so-called right don't believe in a right. We're not talking about right. We're talking about honor, and we're talking about logic, and we're talking about progress, behavior, responsibility, self-determination, and the freedom to fucking behave without getting shamed or fucking PC policed, language policed in any direction. These are all the other people that are lumped into fucking this group called the right, the alt-right, or whatever variation of right. If you're not like frantic fucking extreme leftist, you're right. I mean, the moderates, like, god damn it, the moderates, they're getting fucking trashed. Moderates, like total moderates, are getting trashed by these fucking fanatic SJWs. I mean, the walk away movement, leftists, Democrats in the United States leaving the party, the Democratic Party, because they're gone fucking up the wall, batshit crazy. They're being fucking shot at now. The guy who started the walk away campaign supposedly got a shot taken at him when your man wouldn't serve him his camera fucking lens or whatever. Small potatoes, I know, boo-hoo, like, but, these days,
you see, it's not about absolute. It's about fucking relative. These days, a story like that carries on Twitter. Social brings that fucking around everywhere. Enough so that, like, I bet you a fucking dollar, if I had a dollar, I bet you euro, business is going to be affected in that shop. Because the name was put out there in the article that was put out on Twitter, like, business is going to be affected. And I think, personally, there's a decent chance they're going to have to fire the guy who refused to serve him. And do damage control, because, I mean, don't mind talking about it being reasonable. We obviously don't do reasonable. It's just the way it goes. So I suppose the idea that, like, people outside of SJW world calling for SJWs to be reasonable is kind of unreasonable. It's a bit dumb. Because it's not about... It's like this. Be reasonable. Be reasonable. But don't expect to be subject to reasonable, because we're in an era where, you know, there's a lot of unreasonable going around. It's like, it's not enough, the idea, it's not enough to be right. Optics, all of that kind of stuff. It's paradoxical. But the only thing I've managed to hang my hat on, as in any sort of a sense being an absolute, is the idea of momentum. And the momentum is not... Momentum is with being reasonable, but understanding that you're living in a world that does not give primacy to that of being reasonable. The force does. The momentum is with being reasonable, but there's a lot of people going around being unreasonable, and you do suffer backlash for being unreasonable. But it's there. It's definitely there. And you know what? It's probably always there. I don't know. Yeah, it definitely was always there. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm totally gone into a swamp. I don't know what I'm talking about. Basically, I don't think Mark Hamill is on the right track. I think he's going to have to backtrack or wind up in a fucking... having to go to the island for 30 years. That's just my opinion. I don't want it to be the case. I want him to have fucking riches and bitches. But I think that's the way he's going. I think Harrison Ford is fucking on the right track. Carrie Fisher is the subject of basically the rest of my life. Like, and like, I never, ever fucking ever thought that I would ever be in any way, fucking shape or form in any sort of a position whereby the idea would even be credible that I would be dedicating the rest of my life to Princess Leia and the bond with Carrie Fisher. But that's what I'm doing, and I hope... Okay, not dedicate the rest of my life. What it is dedicating as much as my life as is required to resolve this project, to finish this project. But it's an open-ended project. It could be finished tomorrow. It could already be finished. I hope it is already finished. It's not, though. It could be finished tomorrow. I kind of hope it is. It could take 20 years. It could take the rest of my life. But this is my project now. And where there's a lot of people turning away from Star Wars, right? And when a lot of the people who are not turning away are engaging in flinging feces, and it's getting worse. Those who would engage in a growth-based way and in a kind of in a way that they're inspired by it, these are the people you want, and they're on both sides. They're on all sides. They're on the anti-TLJ side. They're on the pro-TLJ side. Anybody, and I think that's kind of what they were getting at. That is, I think, the force out hate, what they were getting at. But fuck, talk about the fucking wrong way to approach it. But fucking, you do you. I mean, I would be very, very, very surprised if there was one person on the face of this earth that would say that they thought the way I was approaching this was the right way. Was the right way for me. It's a slow burner, and it's non-human intelligence because I'm not so good with human intelligence. I'm not very, I think, intelligent when it comes to, regular human logic. That's why scoring interpretation is Xenolingua, and that's why it is non-human intelligence. That's it for me for now. I'm going to go hang out the wash and then fuck off for a bit of a drive and a bit of a coffee. And nothing then after that, like. Oh, that was good. That was good. I got totally lost there, maybe about 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago. But sure, that's all part of the process. Frog Princess Leia. I think Carrie Fisher would like this. Judging by the shite that was in her house. Jesus, she was mad. Judging by the shite that's in her house, I'd say she might like this. It's like a bobblehead Leia. Alright, get out of here. Get out of here, you gadgets.